Napping. You always feel drowsy in the afternoon and want to close your eyes for a little while. This isn't because you're lazy, but because our ancestors did the same. They didn't typically sleep in a single fixed period as we do now. They would usually sleep for a few hours, wake up for a bit, and then go back to sleep. During their waking hours, they would check for nearby dangers, eat, or do other things. They would also nap when the weather was hot, as high temperatures consumed too much physical energy and affected hunting efficiency. This fragmented sleep pattern allowed our ancestors to survive and avoid being eaten by wild animals. So, if you're always feeling sleepy and wanting to nap, don't worry, it's just your brain repeating an old sleeping pattern. Conformity. You're walking down the street and see many people looking up at the sky. You will also look up with them, even though you have no idea why you're doing it. This is human conformity. Your brain thinks, if everyone is doing this, then I'd better do it too, or I might die. Our ancestors survived by using this instinct. When people around you suddenly start running, you don't stop to ask them why they're running. Instead, you choose to run with them. This is because the one who stopped was often eaten by the beast that was chasing the group. Now, however, this instinct can also lead you to do foolish things, such as blindly buying stocks, following trends by wearing bizarrely ugly shoes, or easily believing popular science content with a high number of likes. However, your brain usually cannot correctly distinguish this content. It only knows that being different means danger. Reciprocity effect. A colleague casually buys you a cup of coffee, and you feel that you owe them something and must treat them in return next time. This is the human reciprocity effect. In primitive society, our ancestors frequently exchanged favors. If you shared a piece of meat with me today, I would share some berries with you tomorrow. This way, we both had food and could both survive. If someone does something for you, your brain tells you that you must give something back in return. However, many salespeople now take advantage of this psychology. A staff member lets you try a small snack for free, and you feel you should buy some to take home. Your brain believes that if you don't offer something in return, the people of the tribe will cast you out to starve. Fear of the unknown. When you walk into a pitch-black room, your heart rate soars with fear because you don't know what's inside. This isn't because you're timid like a baby, but because your brain is trying to prevent your death. For our ancestors, the unknown meant death. When a rustling sound came from the bushes, it could have been the wind, or it could have been a wild beast. Those who thought it was the wind were eaten by beasts, while those who thought it was a beast fled and survived, passing this gene on to you. Therefore, when faced with anything unknown, the brain will sound an alarm to protect you. This instinct might make you habitually order the same dish at the same restaurant or continue working at the same company indefinitely. This may sound boring, but it's just your brain trying to prevent you from becoming a beast's meal. Sensitivity to order. You plan your day's schedule in advance, but when the plan is disrupted, you feel very frustrated. This is a normal phenomenon because our ancestors were the same. Many years ago, our ancestors began to live planned lives. They would methodically build warm shelters and store enough food to safely get through the cold winter. Those who had no plans might have been killed by beasts while out hunting or frozen to death in the cold weather. When a plan is completed, your brain secretes dopamine, which makes you feel happy. So when a plan is disrupted, you become very agitated because your brain believes you are now in great danger. Loss aversion. If you find $100 on the street, you'll feel happy. But if you discover you've lost $100, you'll feel like destroying the world. This is loss aversion. When we face the same amount of gain and loss, we find the loss much harder to tolerate. This is because, for our ancestors, losing something was more serious than gaining it. If they lost their only spear, they could become a beast's lunch. If they lost their food, they could starve to death. Therefore, your brain believes that loss means death. You will feel the pain of a loss as being twice as great as the pleasure of a gain. This is why, even if the stock you hold continues to fall, you are still unwilling to sell it. It's why you are always reluctant to throw away that ugly item of clothing in your wardrobe that you haven't worn in years. You can only continuously hoard things in an attempt to avoid risk.